All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here presently for a Zoom status conference in the matter of the state of Georgia versus Robert Aaron Long in 21 SC 177839. Got to get counsels for the relative entities to identify themselves for purpose of the record. Start out with the state.
Morning, Judge. Adam Abadi for the state, as well as Executive District Attorney Mike Carlson.
All right, good morning, gentlemen. Okay, and for the defendant, Mr. Long?
Yes, Your Honor. Geraldine Bell with the Georgia Capitol Defender's Office. I'm here with Christian Lamar, and I also have Emily Prokash on the screen.
All right, good morning. Good morning, ladies and sir. Okay.
Good morning,
Okay, do we have Mr. Long with us? I know this is supposed to be attorneys only, but is he here? Yeah, I see him here. He is in
Your Honor.
He is in courtroom 3 currently on our platform. Counsel, do you have any issue with us proceeding forward with this particular status conference in this manner?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, okay. Well, as I understand it, there's been some chatter between the both sides as to the request for a continuance. I had sent you all today to talk a little bit about the upcoming motions that we're supposed to commence on or about the 17th of October and go through the 4th of November. So if you all want to go, did one of you or both of you file a motion to continue at this point in time?
Well, I don't know that a formal motion has been provided. I think that Mr. Abate has sent to the court an email that both sides certainly agree with and did on behalf of both sides to that effect, but I may need to be corrected on that by Mr. Abate.
Mr. Abadi?
That's correct, Mr. Carlson. An email was sent to your chambers, both Mr. Kearns and Mr. Chamberlain. No formal motion has been filed. I can definitely file a consent motion on behalf of the state and the defense for the court. It was just an agreement that we had all spoken about due to some of the recent issues that have arisen due to new legal precedent.
I'm going to mark your email. It wasn't sent to me, but it was sent to Mr. Chamberlain, Mr. Abadi, and that's fine. It also copies your other colleagues, the defendants' counsels. But I'll mark this as the next court or court exhibit 1 for purpose of this particular our discussion, and it does indicate what you asked, that you're asking for a continuance, and that our Supreme Court has ruled on some legal precedent that may affect your case, and you want some more time to explore that. So, from the state's perspective, how long do you think you want in order for you to do this?
And Your Honor, I'm going to defer to Mr. Abate on that. I wanted to also indicate for the court that another consideration for both sides is the recent change this year in the standard for expert testimony from the earlier standard under Rule 707, which has been abrogated now by the General Assembly, into the Daubert standard under Rule 702 for criminal cases. And that happened with an effect of July of 2022, and that was part of Mr. Abate's request. I just wanted that to be clear to the record, and that this was a factor certainly of interest to the defense as well in terms of the continuance.
Okay. So back on you, Mr. Abadi. How long are you asking for?
In speaking with defense counsel, I think we all came to the agreement or conclusion that the request to the court would be for January of 2023 to file any additional motions that address the issues that we have spoken about today, Your Honor.
Okay. Counsels, that is Ms. Prolich, Ms. Bell, or Mr. Lamar, you wish to be heard on the issue?
No, Your Honor. We agree. We did have those conversations with with our opposing counsel, and we do agree that they are matters that need to be addressed, and that having the appropriate time to do that would best serve our client as well as the case. And so late January would be ideal, if that's okay with the court.
All right, Mr. Chamberlain,
And Your Honor, if I may interject, I don't
Yes.
know, I'm sorry, Your Honor, Zoom sometimes presents a problem on flow, and I definitely did not mean to overstep when the court was speaking. I'm thinking perhaps even as we had late January indicated, early February as well would likely not be a problem. I don't think it's with anyone's schedule. Again, we are, I think, both sides looking into these issues here. So I just wanted to make sure we had flexibility with the court on that as well.
what I was going to suggest is that maybe you status the matter in early January and let me know what your thoughts are. That gives you to the rest of October, November, and December to kind of tell the court how you wish to proceed, and then what I would do in at our January 2023 meeting would be to then give you a date certain to file any motions and maybe look at some dates, because it took me a lot to kind of get this particular 3 weeks carved out. So the earlier in the year I can kind of do that and forecast it would be helpful.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Mr.
Yes,
Chamberlain.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
When can we put this back on for status in early 2023, January?
We can do it January 5th or later in the month. 'Cause remember, we have other pressing issues that will start on January 9th.
Yes, we do, sir. All right. Let's go ahead and, councils, can you check your calendar for the 5th? That would be a Thursday. We could certainly do it around 11 o'clock if that works for you all.
This representative of the state appears to be clear on that day, Your Honor.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I believe, one second, Your Honor. We're just communicating with counsel on a different screen.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll all be here for the 5th, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Well, is this format acceptable if we did another Zoom conference that like similar to one, or I'll leave it up to you all. If this works for you.
That's fine, Your Honor.
It does for the state, Judge.
Okay, all right. Then we'll go ahead and plan for that particular date and time, January the 5th at 11 o'clock via Zoom, and we can talk about where you all stand at that point in time. So depending upon what you tell me at that point, then I will adjust our schedule accordingly to set dates for, like we did for this month, for motions. So, do y'all have anything else?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, well, counsels and Mr. Long, your attorneys will talk with you a little bit later on about next steps. And folks, unless you have anything else, thank you for your patience, and we will talk with you in early January on the 5th, okay?
Judge,
Thank you, Your Honor.
before we leave on this matter, I need to inform the jail that we are canceling October 17th hearings until we find out what happens on January 5th of next year.
Yes, sir. That would be appropriate.
All right, thank you.
Okay, all right, unless there's anything else.
Judge Glanville,
Yes.
I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but my name is Elliot Peterson. My mother was one of the victims, and I just have a question. You have family members that are on here. I see that probably.
Sir, you need to turn your camera on so I can see you. Okay. This is
Yes,
first.
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Are you able to see me, sir?
I can, sir. And what is your inquiry of me?
So I see a couple of family members on here where the mother English may be their second language, and could you explain that in layman's terms of probably what's really going on? Because we come here, we meet just to hear a continuance and then a pushback date and a pushback date. So what does all this mean? If you can explain it in a dumber down terms, if you will.
I wouldn't consider it to be in those particular terms, okay? But one of the things let me explain something. I'm the referee, so I can't kind of really overstep the bounds of each side as advocates. So the prosecution has a function, the defense has a function, I have a function. One of the things I might suggest that you do is I know you have a victim advocate that the state assigns, and that person might be able to explain to you a little bit about what is going on in terms of the procedural history of this particular case or in terms of next steps. But you know, in layman's terms or in terms of where we are, both sides would like to reevaluate where they stand because of some recent Supreme Court case law that our court has recently released in terms of some decisions. So that might be something that you might engage the victim advocate in and talk with her about that. And I'm sure that if any other decisions will be made, that the state will talk with you about those. Okay? I mean, I think that's the best, and that's about as much as I can probably say. But I'm granting continuance for legal cause for both parties to go ahead and evaluate their respective positions. Both sides have asked me to do that. Okay?
Yes, sir. I completely understand. Thank you for.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. Okay, and to that end, Mr. Abadi, if you and Ms. Bell would go ahead and file a motion, a consent motion, and I will sign that. Okay, just for purposes of the record. Okay.
Yes,
Along
sir.
with an order, so we can take care of that, Judge. The
Yes,
motion
sir.
along with an order, Mr. Abadi.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Unless anybody has any other inquiry, then I'll wish everyone the best. Okay. Until we see each other again.
Thank you, Judge Glanville.
Okay. All right. You're very welcome. All right. Be well.